about?
Now, it would just seem to me, after all the time Keith did, he wouldn't want to go back to prison. It would seem to me, all the work that we saw them get put into getting his son back, taking him out of custody of his father, which was a stable environment, just seemed like he wouldn't have done something so dang on stupid. But I said when we was watching the show, I don't know if he should stick around with Latisha. We can't blame Latisha for him breaking the law and doing the dumb shit they did. They did that together. That was a decision that they both made, in my opinion. I'm making up shit. Together is to take their TV winnings, go buy a sack, and try to come up so they could pay for all her damn court fees and shit that she got pending. What would make him think that with all the shit she got going on, they wouldn't be watched all on the internet, all on the television, still got shit pending? I'd be scared to do anything. I'd be scared to even roll up a blunt. Like I just wouldn't risk all my freedom and then my child. I wouldn't do all of that. I just wouldn't have did it. If that little girl did, we already knew that the oldest one, she did not like Keith. I bet you she can't stand him now. Because here she got two. Like, how embarrassing for the oldest child. I would just go live with my daddy. Because apparently my mama can't stop breaking the law. And she can't keep her ass out of the jailhouse. She just can't do it. It's not in her. He did 13, 14 years. And she been getting in trouble for about 13, 14 years. With shit still pending. You would think she would want to put her children in the same ass position where they got to go stay with Aunt Marcia or somebody. Because she want to keep being... She want to be living about that life. And it just seems like, okay, if you want to be a dealer with the marijuana and all, why? Why won't you just go and take your ass to California where it's legal? Because there's no way, and I haven't read in the thing in its entirety. We're going to get to reading it. It just seemed like, just come to California. That way you ain't going to jail for stupid shit. Because you're not going to go to jail if the police come into your house and find something in your drawer. They're not going to take you to jail. And if they find it on your persons out there in the street, they're not going to take you to jail. They're just not going to take you to jail for it. And it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that the laws, like, it ain't that deep. And they just love like up. But it just seemed like if you know the laws where you at, why risk it? Like seriously, why risk the shit? All right, y'all. Let's get to reading. Love during lockup and life after lockup couple Latisha Collier and Keith Collier were both arrested November 6th in Iowa on drug charges. According to the jail records, Latisha and her husband Keith Collier were arrested by Bettendorf police. They were both booked into the Scotts County Jail before 11 a.m. on November 6th. Latisha Collier is charged with a misdemeanor possession of controlled substance. The controlled substance is marijuana. Marijuana is not legal for recreational use in Iowa. Keith Collier was charged with multiple drug charges related offenses, all of which are felonies. His charges include 2 counts of possession of controlled substance, 1 count of possessions with intent to deliver a controlled substance. And an iconic twist, given that Latisha owns or used to own a tax business, Keith was also charged with a felony count of failure to affix a drug tax stamp. I researched the Iowa statute and it is exactly what it sounds like. Now this is crazy. In Iowa, not only is an individual prohibited from selling illegal drugs, but they could also face criminal and civil penalties if they do not apply for, obtain, and attach a tax stamp to the controlled substance they are selling. So basically, I can go to Iowa, be a dealer, and as long as I'm paying taxes on the shit, I can't go to jail. Is that what's going on in Iowa? Anyway, where did I leave off at? Because that is just, that's crazy. The offense referred to as failure to affix an Iowa drug tax stamp is Class D felony. If convicted, a person could spend up to 5 years in prison and face a fine up to $7,500. The law was enacted in the 1990s as a way to combat drug crimes. If a person intends to sell drugs, then they must submit an application to the Iowa Department of Revenue to get a tax stamp. So I could go to the Department of Iowa. It's like, look, I got a kilo cocaine. Can I sell it? Here's my tax stamp. Put my tax stamp. I'll pay you the taxes after I done sell it and killed a whole bunch of damn people. Like, that is crazy. That is some crazy. That is crazy. So apparently in Iowa, sounds like you can still smoke weed, but you got to still get one of those medical cards. That's like out here before it became recreational. It was like $75 or it was less than $100. And most of the doctors didn't even give a shit. All you had to go in there and say you had anxiety. They was giving you a damn card, but out here it's recreational. You don't need no card. You ain't gonna, we don't have all these weird ass laws. So Latisha Collier posted her $1,000 bond and was released less than an hour after being booked. Keith Collier is still in jail. He has 3 bonds amount listed: $10,000 cash only, $5,000 cash only, and $10,000 secured. Well, I don't think she can go around stealing people's money anymore because ain't nobody gonna trust her because her little card been pulled out. So ain't nobody messing with Latisha like that, I'm gonna assume. According to court documents, Keith Collier is currently still on U.S. probation through the Central District of Illinois. Keith was released from federal prison in September of 2024. He just made it a year. His ass is back. He was sentenced to 14 years in 2014, and look at his goofy ass now, about to go back for possession with intent to distribute more than 27 grams of crack cocaine and marijuana. And here you are doing the same shit. According to the affidavit from the arresting officers, the arrest of Latisha Collier and Keith Collier both stem from Keith allegedly selling drugs to the police. Nigga, to the police? Okay, like I said, I'm reading this. Okay. The driver involved in a motor vehicle accident informed police they had smoked K2 prior to the accident. According to the DEA, K2 and Spice are just 2 of the many trade names of brands of synthetic designer drugs that are intended to mimic THC, the main psychoactive ingredient of marijuana. Now, y'all, they used to sell this Spice. They used to sell this Spice at liquor stores, but they stopped doing it because people were starting to have heart attacks and shit. The buyer said they purchased the K2 for $70 and identified Keith by first name as the seller. What? That was quicker than 48 hours. He wasn't going to jail. The buyer was shown the defendant's photograph, identified them as the defendant. Like I said, his wife was already in trouble with the law. Y'all all on TV doing shit. You know she got pending cases. Watching his ass, and they just needed somebody to snitch. Buyer showed police his cell phone. This motherfucker was scared. He's like, listen, here's his number. I'll meet you around the corner and set his ass up. But please don't take my ass to jail. Like, I'll give you the bed. He ain't gonna do shit. So the buyer showed his cell phone in the text message exchange with the K2 seller, arranging a location for purchase. The phone number defendant used is the number that Illinois U.S. probation has on file for his ass. Keith, your ass was in jail way too long. Didn't nobody tell you to get a damn burner phone? Didn't they tell you when you selling, don't be the person's face? You shouldn't be the face that you... Dude, whatever you was doing 14 years ago, the shit ain't working today. Okay? It ain't working today. Shit's different. A marijuana purchase was arranged between a confidential source and Keith Collier. Police provided the CS with cash, the snitch. The police provided the snitch with cash, as well as he hooked them up, mic'd them up, so he could be a bigger snitch. The snitch arrived at the buy location. Detectives maintained constant surveillance on the snitch. Detectives observed the defendant arrive at the buy location. Detectives observed the snitch meet with the defendant for a short period of time. Moments later, the defendant left the buy location. The snitch was followed back to a predetermined location where they turned over a bag containing marijuana. Snitch was searched, which yielded no contraband or USC. Snitch stated that they purchased marijuana from the defendant in exchange for USC. I don't know what that is, y'all. Police later caught up with Keith Collier in a McDonald's parking lot from the affidavit of one of the arresting officers. You go get your Big Mac while you was waiting for your snitch. The defendant was detained and his persons were searched. When searching his persons, I located a white bag in his jacket pocket. Inside was 2 1-ounce bags of raw marijuana. He would not have went to jail for that out here. 29.2 grams total package weight, marijuana. No drug tax stamp was properly affixed. So do they put the drug stamp on the damn baggie? How's that shit work? Post Miranda, the defendant was interviewed and said he smokes often. Based on my training and experience, I know that 2 ounces of marijuana is a dealer quantity and that someone that smokes is not often in possession of that much marijuana. I know that someone that smokes marijuana often smokes using a pipe, a bowl, or a blunt. I know that people often smoke 1 to 2 grams of marijuana at a time. The defendant was not found to be in possession of any related drug paraphernalia, thus indicating he was not planning to smoke. You were supposed to have some roller papers on, Keith. Some roller papers, a little pipe. You're supposed to have some shit on you to prove what you was. Like you don't know you don't know about that life no more, baby. It's been too long. I believe that defendant also possessed his marijuana with intent to deliver it due to it being in 2 prepackaged baggies inside of another bag. Keith, don't you know today's dealer, you don't walk around with all your shit on you. If you're gonna do some shit, you wasn't even supposed to be the one doing it. You got shit all bent, sir. You got shit completely bent. After Keith Collier's arrest, police obtained a search warrant for the townhouse. Since they ain't got no house, should have moved her ass into a townhouse. I hope they paying for that house. That's probably how I was trying to pay for the rent. So off they little weed. Police arrived at the townhouse and Latisha was present. She informed the officer she was like, look, motherfuckers, don't come tearing out my house. Got shit right over there in the drawer. I smoke a little bit. I got my little pipe and shit with me. I'm high right now. So the marijuana weighed 18.88 grams. Total package weight near the bed and nightstand and in a wooden cookie box was 5.22 grams total package weight of loose marijuana and Roach's blunt ends. Post Miranda, the defendant said the weed inside the bag that she showed us was hers. Latisha was arrested and placed in a police vehicle. Excuse me. While in the back seat of the police car, Latisha made a video called to Mary from Kiki and Kibitz. I'm trying to figure out, is it really that different in Iowa? When you get arrested here in San Diego, they take your phone. You have nothing in the back seat but them handcuffs and your hands behind your back with them handcuffs. So I'm just tripping on how she was able to have a phone and make a phone call to Kiki and Kibitz. Hours later, Mary went live on YouTube and shared a couple images of Latisha in the police car wearing a New York Police Department sweatshirt. And why? Why? It's almost like, why, girl? Like, you should be pressed. As stated previously in the article, Latisha was booked and released within an hour after being released. Latisha, I think, arrested. Latisha demonstrated her lawyering skills by issuing a delicately crafted statement on Facebook. Free my husband and F you cops. Ass for these cowards. You're a grown-ass woman with kids, Latisha. Knock the shit off. You busted. You the one did something wrong. You in the wrong fucking city for that shit. Wrong place for that shit. Got the nerve to go on there, and that's her problem. You're a grown woman with kids. No wonder your child looks so miserable on the damn show. And then you back at it again. You got that poor little baby probably crying. She done lost her daddy again because that was the only daddy that you gave her that she know about, that she has. So you guys both done fucked that up again. You got the little boy that he had got somewhat custody of back with the father. You should never get custody of that little boy. Should never, because apparently you guys ain't got your shit together. And I told you wasn't gonna be the person that should be parenting that fucking kid. Be that boy with the grandfather, because he wasn't go, look what you done did. Look what you done did already. Look what you done did. Done brought him into your house, got him into your happy home, and trying to build this relationship. And look, he done back at it again. They ain't gonna give that boy back to this fucker. Sorry, Keith, I had to call you that. They ain't giving him back to you. You don't deserve to have him back. You guys are some assholes. Like, come on, grow up. Stay off the internet thinking this shit's cute and funny, because it's not. If I was her, I'd shut the fuck up and try to figure out how I'm gonna fix my life. That's what I would be doing. Call Ayana. If you want to call somebody, fuck Kiki and Kibitz, no harm to them. Call Ayana so she can fix them fucking life. Anyway, that's it. That's all, y'all. Tell me what you think about they goofy asses. Don't be an asshole. Bye.